In the modern age, we hold the power to change the face of our planet, split an atom in two, and even change our own genome. Genetic modification technology holds great promise for reducing suffering and inheritable disorders, including mental illness. The ethical and medical ramifications are immense and complex to say the least. But one question that seems unanswered is, would there be negative effects from removing these seemingly negative traits? Today we will be examining at whether there's a correlation between increased creativity and mental illness. Now, first, what is creativity? According to renowned psychologist Carl Jung, creativity is the capacity to produce both novel or original ideas and adaptable or functional ideas. Creativity is something fundamental to our species and something most people have to learn. Some, however, are believed to be born with an inclination towards being creative. Now, genetic diversity is widely accepted as an important part of the survival and success of a species, with variations in populations allowing for the species to survive change to the environment and react to differing conditions. This also applies to phenotypes and neurodiversity. Differences in neurons mean more unique ways of looking at the world, meaning solutions are achieved faster and people are better at occupying different niches in society. So, how does neurodiversity and mental illness play into traits like creativity? Are things like schizophrenia, autism, and bipolar an evolutionary advantage that occur from natural selection? Are they random and negative mutations that are being selected against, or something in between? Well, according to Scientific American, in a recent report based on a 40-year study of roughly 1.2 million Swedish people, Simon Kayaga and colleagues found that, with the exception of bipolar disorder, those in the scientific and artistic occupations were not more likely to suffer from psychiatric disorders. So, full-blown mental illness did not increase the probability of entering a creative profession. Even the exception, bipolar disorder, showed only a small effect of 8%. What was striking, however, was that the siblings of patients with autism and the first-degree relatives of patients with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and anorexia nervosa were significantly overrepresented in creative professions. What this suggests is that certain genetic traits related to mental illness act like the heterozygotic advantage of those with sickle cell anemia, meaning that people who are homozygous dominant have no benefit or harm, and people who are homozygous recessive suffer only harm, while those who are heterozygous experience the happy medium, which allows for the gene to be preserved and carriers to continue to reproduce. However, more research needs to be done on the subject, and the different mental illnesses seem to have a different correlation to creativity, intelligence, and other traits. There's even differences between creative professions, such as writers having more personality disorders compared to other creative professions. In fact, most disorders on the autistic spectrum seem to lower creativity and the ability to understand abstract concepts. Part of the reason why those suffering with autism have issues with socialization and comprehension. Well, we still have a lot to learn. The link between creativity and some forms of mental illness can't be ignored, with large ramifications for our society as a whole. We might find that if we edit our genome to remove these traits, we may find ourselves a whole lot less imaginative, creative, and able to solve the problems the world faces today.